Well, I'm out here at Bend Distilling Company. I'm with Alan. Alan, we are standing out in the middle of a field. And what is this field of?
This is rye grain. So if you think about a rye whiskey, specifically our state rye whiskey, which is made from this exact grain that you're standing in the middle of, this gets turned into whiskey eventually.
Very cool.
Yep.
And you guys find it, it's important to be growing your own.
I think it's not just important to be growing our own, but to support as much as we can locally with growers. And that really runs the gamut from dealing with the pepper growers in Hatch, New Mexico for our Hatch Green Chili Vodka, to dealing with family farms in the valley for their fruit for our Northwest Berry Vodka, all the way through to an actual grain that we grow, harvest, and ferment and distill into our own whiskey. So we try to do it wherever we can.
Which is very cool. So, we're out in the field. We're just going to walk right across the parking lot into the tasting room, and we'll see where this ends up.
We will.
So let's take a look.
Thanks.
So Alan, we just made the 50-yard walk across the parking lot, where the rye field was, and now we're in your tasting room.
We are.
And so what kind of products does Bend Distilling do?
Wow, that's a big question. We have a pretty broad portfolio of products that ranges everywhere from our flagship gin and vodka through specialty products that we only make once a year, and they're all limited releases, which might include the estate rye, which we just talked about outside, to, let's say, our Black Butte Porter whiskey, which is a collaboration we do with Deschutes Brewing here in town. That's a distillation of their Black Butte Porter beer. So it really runs the gamut. And what's involved in there from the local standpoint, I think I mentioned outside that we do Northwest Berry Vodka that uses the fruit from local farms over in the valley.
Right.
I mentioned our Hatch Green Chili from a single farm in Hatch, New Mexico. But the through line to all of that is, of course, our water, which is really the secret to what makes Crater Lake Spirits Crater Lake Spirits. And that's as local as you can get. It comes as snow all year. It melts through the year, and we get it from the groundwater and out of the river. And that's really our secret weapon is that great Cascade Mountain water and its particular flavor.
So Alan, you talked about the water and the ingredients and how that is so important, but it's much more than that, right?
It really is. That's an interesting point to bring up, because what we've learned in the 25 years we've been doing this is it's not just the water, it's also the environment. And this is really important for whiskeys. It's the aging environment. And what we found, to answer your question quickly, is we can get a flavor in 2 years that it might take your traditional Kentucky bourbon 5 years to get. And that has a lot to do with the temperature swings we have, but there's so much more going on inside all of that. And in fact, the idea of terroir, which has been so well understood in the wine world forever, is now being applied to spirits, specifically whiskeys. And we're starting to experiment and learn about so many of the factors that go into making a great whiskey, and why a whiskey from Central Oregon is different than one from Kentucky or Colorado or Pennsylvania or Scotland for that matter.
We could walk another 50 yards in the other direction,
We could.
and that's where you're distilling it.
Absolutely.
And bottling it, right?
Yep, right here on site. And you're welcome to come here too. We have a tasting room here on the site of the distillery. We do tours, we do specialty cocktails. If you're really lucky, you might try something that isn't even totally out yet, some of the new specialty products. So it's a great visit if you happen to be in the area.
And so people that are interested in your spirits, where can they go to find this?
Well, the easiest thing to do is every liquor store in Oregon, most bars and restaurants, just ask for it. If you're interested in supporting a local brand or trying something new, just ask for Crater Lake Spirits. We're almost everywhere. If you happen to find yourself in Bend, like I just mentioned, we're here at the distillery. We also have a tasting room downtown, and that's open every day. And you can try specialty cocktails, you can see logo merchandise, you can try stuff that we're working on. You can see the process in pictures and photos if you can make it out here for a tour.
Absolutely. So not only you have it out here in your tasting room, you talked about some of the local restaurants.
Absolutely, and I think that one of the key things people forget about shopping local is not just local brands, but the local merchants where you can find it, and that includes the bars and restaurants that carry not just Crater Lake Spirits, but all the Oregon distilled spirits, as well as the beers and wines. It's really important to ask for local. Right. Whether you are local or you're visiting, you're looking for that Oregon experience, it's sort of the last mile of the whole local concept.
Right. It's just such a great concept to come out here and it's grown here, it's distilled, it's bottled here, it's supporting all these local people So make sure, when you come out to Bend, you either come in and visit the distillery here, go to your local liquor store, or visit your local restaurant and ask for some Crater Lake spirits. So for more information, make sure you go to gardentime.tv and we'll click you over to their site. Or when you're in Bend, come out and visit. So Alan, we appreciate being out here. It's been great.
My pleasure. Wonderful having you.